Thing is, this is such a quick recipe. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Quick is good though.
Mm.
Only thing with doing this on my phone, I can't see the chats.
Sure, I've never looked at how it looks on the phone. Maybe can you turn it landscape? Can you see them then?
I don't know. I look worse. God, hell, no. I know. I'll turn my camera off. That'd be even better. Right. I can put it on chat, but then it's like the chat comes up, but I can see the pictures vaguely in the back, in the distance, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's like semi. I know when someone comments, it might just ping
Okay.
up.
I'll put the jam. I think I have everything. Hello, everybody watching. Come say hi. Video's all shared, so we can get started now. I'm going to do, obviously as the title says, vanilla cupcakes and a berry jam filling. So I made the jam yesterday. It's just like, the bag of mixed frozen berries. I didn't actually have any chia seeds, so I strained it to like take some of the moisture out.
Oh, right.
And it worked really well. And obviously I've not got as much as I would without straining it, but it's still got a decent amount.
That's good to know, because I think it was Jan saying yesterday when I was doing it that she doesn't like chia seeds. She doesn't like the texture. So
Yeah. My other thought was adding gelatin, but by that point I'd already decided to strain half of it, and I was like, well, I can't look to stop now. I've also got a little ice cube tray, and these have been frozen since this morning. Yeah, they're basically frozen. It's just spoons of the jam. I'm going to use them as like a little filling for the cupcakes, and we'll hope that it works. It's a tip that Dad gave me from Liam. So usually I'd just spoon a little bit in, but we'll do it this way and see if it makes any difference. Hello Esther, hello Carrie, hello Kathy, hello Gillian. Kathy says hi to you, Sue, as well.
Thanks, Kathy. Hi.
So the recipe I'm using is from WTF. And I've obviously linked it in the description. I'm using the original version rather than the nut-free, which is 2 eggs. If it's nut-free, it's 3 eggs, just because coconut flour absorbs a lot more. Farmer's eggs. Actually, we're doing all right for eggs this month. We're going to get to the farmer's market. I think what farmer's market would be in a week or 6 days.
Yeah.
I think I've still got 2 full trays there.
Shocking.
No, we've got 1 full tray and a bit. So about 40 eggs. So we'll still have some left over. Last month we severely underestimated how many we'd need. We didn't realise it'd be like 5 weeks instead of the usual 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 120 mils or grams. I always do grams of double cream.
Yeah, January goes on forever.
Yeah. It's because the farmer's market's like the first Saturday of every month. You can use olive oil for that as well instead of double cream. Which I guess, yeah, that would make this a dairy-free recipe.
Yep.
I've used coconut milk before as well. That's nice, especially in the coconut flour version. A little bit of vanilla. No, that's the plain. That's the liquid stuff, sorry. I debated between using this recipe and you know the one in Creative Bakes, the blackcurrant cupcakes. Uses cream cheese. I love that one. But I decided on this one because it's really basic. It's It was the first cupcake recipe we did. How
I
many
was going to say,
ground
it's one of the originals, isn't it?
Yeah. And this version as well. I adapted it to make it nut-free as well. But this version with the ground almonds is the original. God knows how many years old. 130 grams of ground almonds. I'm going to switch to a spatula now that this is whisking. Because as always, I hate mixing with whisks.
Oh, whisks are just no.
It's not as bad for this recipe. It's the the decadent chocolate cake recipe.
Oh yeah.
That one, I made the mistake once of using a whisk, never again.
No, it just gets glooped up in the middle.
You just end up with a 50-gram ball of cocoa powder in the middle.
And then you shake it, and then you try and get it out, and it just goes everywhere. Pointless.
Yeah. So I went to Sainsbury's earlier to get some sweetener because I ran out of the stuff that we have from the bakery, and I didn't want to have to drive all the way to Wollaston for one bag of sweetener. So the Purevia is the best value in Sainsbury's at the moment. They had Truvia as well, but it's more expensive. I'll do 25 grams. A little bit less than we'd normally do, but we've got a very filling. Mix that in. So what was the result of your baking stuff this morning? I forgot the baking powder. I said that all the dry ingredients were done. I lied. I know you enjoyed the pork.
That pork, oh my God, it is divine. Honestly, it's like, yeah. I mean, yes, I was in heaven. Sorry. It was bloody good.
I'll get that recipe in the library soon.
Yeah, well, I have put in my poster, recipe to follow soon.
Yeah, it's written up, just needs a bit of sort of filling out. It was in note form.
But no, that was excellent. My ice cream's in the freezer, my chicken's in the freezer. So I didn't do much today, actually, but I've got loads still in the freezer that need using up. So, and I got the Bakewell tart from yesterday. Still got some left of that. So,
hi Fee, hi Jane. Okay, I've just been obviously adding the last ingredients in. That's sort of consistency. So in there, 2 eggs, 120 grams of double cream, 130 grams of ground almonds, 20 to 30 grams of sweetener. I've used 25. A teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a pinch of salt. Obviously, I've got my silicone cupcake cases. I'm going to bake these in the Ninja Foodie. They always work out quite cool in the Foodie because where the air circulates, you end up with like the little peaks all the way around. Oh no, Jane's halfway through the Bakewell and the scales have died.
No! Wing it. Just wing it. Just bung it in.
If it's butter, the packets usually have the 50-gram line, don't they? So you can kind of guesstimate the butter quantities. Eggs are obviously in numbers. What else is it?
Halfway through, then the ground almonds is the same as what you used originally. So try and work out what you pictured first time. You'll be fine.
There we go. Look at they fit quite neatly in there. I don't know how many I've got. 1, 2, 3.
9.
8.
No, 8.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna have leftover mix. This usually makes 12 of this sort of size, but we'll see. Obviously I need to leave a bit of room for the jam, so I'll do a spoon of mix, then the jam, and then a spoon of mix on top for each one.
Mm-hmm.
So I did debate whether I did vanilla or chocolate cupcakes. If it was chocolate, this would almost be like a Black Forest cupcake. The only cocoa powder I have in at the moment is the Lidl one, and it is very strong. I don't know whether you've tried it.
No, I haven't. I must admit. No.
It's very dark. Not in a bad way, but I just feel like I would need to experiment with the decadent chocolate cake recipe a bit more because I don't think I'd need as much as it calls for.
Right, frangipane. You want it quite a wet consistency. It doesn't go. It's like a dropping consistency. You'll be fine. Be brave, Joan. You can do it. We have faith.
If it doesn't work, blame it on Sue.
Yeah.
There you go. So this was the jam that I made, and obviously I froze it in the ice cube tray, and it's now. They are quite large dollops.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Yeah. My only thought is that it might get sort of pushed out the top, but if it does, then they just look pretty. That's fine. It's not like they look like little jammy dodgers at the moment. I'm gonna get stained fingertips now. Okay, Jane's giving it a go.
I know, she's brave. She'll be fine.
Okay, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, do
So,
look like jammy dodgers, don't they?
They do, yeah. So I'm going to try and cover the jam with the cake mix now. Oh, I should be preheating the Ninja. I need to go do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to be left with a little bit of mix, but I don't think it's going to be too much actually, because I'm trying to cover the jam completely. I honestly think these silicone cake molds, they're one of the best investments you can make for home baking.
Yeah, they are good.
Years and years. Right, there we go. I've pretty much covered it. I don't want to tilt it too much because I don't want the cake mix to go everywhere. I'll preheat the foodie. Not that it does need much heating. We'll do bake, temperature 180. So we'll give it 5 minutes before I chuck these in the meantime.
Well, have you got the silicone bottom ones? Kathy?
Yeah, I was going to say Kathy. So this mould, B&M?
Yep, B&M's. Probably, I think, a couple of quid for set of two.
Yeah, it's plastic, but then the yellow bit is silicone, so you can push from the bottom. The other moulds I have are completely silicone. So these, they're really flexible. And obviously in that one, you just push that way. Ice cube trays, they're usually just solid plastic, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So I suppose what I'd do there is I'd turn it upside down, run hot water on the bottom of it, and after a couple of minutes, they'd usually just slide out if you give it a bit of a whack. That would be my go-to technique. Just keep hitting it until it comes out.
Yeah, bash it.
Let's see how many. I've got 3 other pieces of frozen jam.
If B&M haven't got them, Kathy, Amazon will.
Yeah, there's loads of these types of molds on Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to have like an ice lolly mold that was completely plastic. So when you'd made the ice lollies, it then took ages to get them out.
Yeah.
Because you just stood there running them under hot water. Right. But yeah, that's very handy. Just pushing the bottom of the mold. There we go. So I'm going to get 10 cakes out of it.
Oh, you can't put those 2 bits of jam back in the freezer.
I've got 1 bit of jam.
Oh, what?
I'll just pop it back in the Greek yogurt tub. Let it defrost in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, I used to just smash them. And actually, I used to turn them upside down, beat the living daylights out of them, and probably break them as well.
Yeah. And then you get to the point where they just start flying out.
Yeah, yeah.
Not where you want them to be.
Forget it. Whoever invented silicon, we owe an awful lot to.
Right, these are chunky cakes. But I
Mm.
didn't want to use the rest of the mix to make a half a cake, so I've got 2 more there. But yeah, these I've had for ages, and I like these ones. They're heart shaped.
Oh, they're nice. Yeah.
I've also got mini ones that are like a bundt tin.
Yeah.
They're like mini bundt cakes, and they are the only ones that haven't worked. You always push them out, and they're like half done, and the rest of it's stuck in the case. I think they're just a bit too thick.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had with the Ninja ones. They've got like a round tray that's like all silicone. It's way too thick. Doesn't bake things properly.
No.
Okay. Let's do that for 12 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like silicone bread loaf tins.
Oh, yeah.
They're waste of time.
I think breads in particular, they rely on a hot tin, and silicone just doesn't heat up.
No.
I mean, you know that when you take it out of the oven, after like a minute, it's cool again. So it just doesn't conduct heat very well. And you don't end up with a very well cooked loaf. Yeah, we've chucked quite a few of them away. Okay, are there any questions whilst we wait? Because now the muffins are in the oven. And I said this is going to be a quick live. It's super, super simple.
But it's nice to have simple, quick recipes to do.
Well, that's what I thought. This is one of the things that if I was baking something sweet for us, which I don't do very often, to be fair now, but if I did, it would be something really simple like this. I wouldn't make the creative stuff is very nice for like a centerpiece when you've got like a big fancy meal or whatever. But unless it's like a birthday or a special occasion, I don't usually bake much sweet stuff.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra.
Now, did the mother-in-law like the Bakewell tart? And did you get some clotted cream?
We need the answers now.
Need to know.
Right, let's put our last remaining block of jam. It's already half defrosted. Pop it back in the Greek yogurt tub.
See if Louis knows.
If you do batch cook jam, I don't bother freezing it because we go through it too quickly with Louis. But you can freeze it just because you don't want it to go off. Another good shout.
Well done.
So she enjoyed it. Was that a yes, Sandra, to both questions, or a yes? That the Bakewell tart was enjoyed. Did you get the clotted cream? Did I see you're making angel mousse trifle next week?
We are indeed, yes. But me being me, I'll just do the fluff.
I've done that before, to be fair. We don't really have a decent trifle dish. I did it for, I think Dad wanted it for his birthday. So I just made loads of like little cups of it. Ended up with loads of fluff left over compared to the jelly and the cream.
Yes, the cream, not eaten it yet.
Well, I hope she enjoys. Bakewell tart's been popular. You made it yesterday, didn't you?
I did do it yesterday, and quite a few people made it after me, which is nice.
How was it?
I think I've got 8 pieces left.
What jam did you do?
Oh, I think I got the cheap mixed berries, frozen mixed berries from Tesco's. You know, the ones that have odd and sods in them. And I just but I did it in the microwave because I've never done it in the microwave. I usually do it on a pan. And it was a lot thicker.
Okay.
There was I put the cheer in and the sweetener in, mixed it, microwave 30 seconds, 3 minutes, and it came out really nice and thick. Mushed it all together, and there was no excess liquid at all.
Wow.
It was good.
Yeah, I usually do ours on the stove as well. I did it yesterday, and then that was the point when I realised we didn't have any chia seeds in the house. We've had like buckets of chia seeds for the past year. You just get used to. Oh yeah, we always have chia seeds in.
I've always got it. Yeah, I must admit, when I looked yesterday,
I'm like, I've been making a lot of jam recently. I don't have any chia seeds left.
Yeah, I thought I better order some more. Restock.
I'm excited to see these cupcakes now.
Well, I haven't gone pixelated at all, so
I think we now know it's your laptop.
It's the laptop.
Well, and you're quite clear as well.
Yeah.
It's not like I think the phone camera is actually better quality. So.
Well, yeah.
At least you now know for couch time on Wednesday.
I'll be using the phone. Yes.
Jane says, "Cross fingers and legs. It's in the oven."
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
What's in the frangipane? Let's have a look. It's got eggs in it, hasn't it?
Sweetener, egg, and almond essence.
So it will set.
Yeah.
I think, depending on. I do love that photo. The baked photo. There you go. It's got one egg.
Sandra wants that port loin recipe.
Sandra, I will get it in the library in the next couple of days. I've got it in note form. I just need to sort of fill it out a bit and get it in the library. I reckon, Jane, I'll put... Oh, yeah, okay. So Jane will post a picture on Facebook when it's done. Great.
Good.
As long as it's nice and golden on top, I reckon it'll be fine. I think the egg in there will hold it together, even if the butter and the almond measurements are slightly off. But
it'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's 100 grams of butter, so that'll be fairly easy to see if you've got the lines on the butter packet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pork loin recipe. I'm not a fan of like mixed spice, cinnamon, nutmeg in savoury stuff. So it wasn't something I'd go for. But I was surprised that Louis enjoyed it because Louis is not the same. Louis really, really liked it.
Yeah,
and he liked the sauce.
Probably I used the golden sweetener, and I used 50, and I had quite a bit left over. And actually, I think you could probably even bring it down a bit more.
Yeah, so for the recipe in the library, shall I put 30? Do you reckon that will...
Yeah, I'd say that's more than enough.
Okay, so Jane says, butter was fine, lines on the packet, just the almond and sweetener. I tried to taste test first, so it might be okay. Cool. Yeah.
Way to go.
Let's get... Where's the cooling rack one?
Oh, good.
Hi Sal, just spent an afternoon cooking goulash and making your bread from the Friday live last week. What fun, thanks guys. Fantastic, I love the goulash recipe.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Nice. And actually Sal, there is another bread live this week. So we're doing flavoured versions on, I think it's Friday. I'll have the timetable on the website later today. I've made it up. I thought for my live next week, I'd do the burger partles I posted about a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah, them.
Got another pack of the mince, the 5% mince that we use, which is really, really nice. And a new tactic. Dad said my burgers were better than the fast food ones that he had earlier this week. I put, you've got like the burger press, put chopped shallots in the bottom and then the beef mince on top. Obviously, seasoned the beef mince anyway. Pressed it down. And then the shallots were seared basically in the pan when it cooked. That's really nice. Are you heading off soon?
Yeah, phone's going. It's my aunt. Any case,
You're on taxi duty now.
I better go. Right, take care. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for joining. Yep, so that is, hang on. Oh no, it's not on there yet. I think it'll be 4 p.m. on Friday. It might be 5 p.m. But the timetable will be on that page later. And if you have the app, I'll send out a notification 15 minutes before we go live. Alright, I'm getting impatient. The cake smells really good, so I'm going to check the Ninja. Okay. They're very nearly there. I'll give them a couple more minutes and then I won't have to put them back in. Most of them are golden. The way the Ninja Foodie cooks is the centre is the last bit to cook, as in the centre thing, even if it's not a whole cake. I've got one cupcake in the centre and that one is paler than the rest. So in a couple of minutes, I should be able to take out the ones on the outside and I'll pop these two in with the other one and let that finish off cooking. In case you've joined after I made them, because it literally took like 10-15 minutes to put these together. It was the vanilla muffins recipe. Sorry, I've got a dodgy page. Vanilla muffins recipe from WTF. I use the original one, which is the ground almonds version, but there is a nut-free version as well, if you need that. Also, you can replace the double cream with coconut milk, as in the tin stuff, to make it dairy-free. So it's quite an adaptable recipe, that one. It's one of the very first recipes that I made. So I made that mix, and then I made some jam yesterday. There are a couple of different recipes in the library. This is just mixed berries, a bag of mixed frozen berries, heated down. And actually, I said to Sue, we don't have any chia seeds. So what I did is I strained it, just drained some of the liquid out to sort of keep it a bit thick, and then mashed it down and reduced it a little bit. And it's a little bit runnier than normal, but it was fine for this, where I popped a few spoons in an ice cube tray, and then they've frozen, and they're the centerpiece in these cupcakes. Hi Jane, question about trifles. Is there any issue about making a traditional one using sugar-free jelly, homemade custard, and whipped cream? I noticed it wasn't in the library. No issue at all. I mean, we've got a custard recipe in the library. Obviously, whipped cream, you can just whip up double cream. And yeah, sugar-free jelly, we use that for the travel recipe that is in the library. But yeah, there isn't a traditional one in the library. I might put one in there. We're not really trifle people, but yeah, there are all the components in the library to make that. And yeah, I'll get the custard recipe for you. I don't know. Obviously, it depends on the size of the trifle tin that you've got, depending on how much custard you'll need to make. Custard, there we are. That was very simple anyway, because it's mostly cream and egg yolk. There you go. Okay, Ninja Beat. Yeah. I found the things I was looking for last week. I have a feeling Louis had moved them. Okay, so I think you can see the middle one is slightly paler, but actually it's cooked very quickly in the last minute. Yeah, that's done. You basically just want them to be firm to touch. If they're a little bit squishy, as in, obviously cake's kind of squishy, but I think you can tell in the last minute it develops a little bit of a crust. If it still feels very fragile, leave it for another minute or two. The thing I love about baking them in the Ninja Foodie is when you get like little triangular shapes, because I sort of squish the cupcakes together. So the silicone is basically cool enough to handle now, which I suppose is why bigger things like loaves and big cakes, they might not do as well in silicone things, because it just doesn't conduct heat as well. Right, we'll get those two in, move them, they're sort of on the side, so they'll cook evenly. That was on Bake function 180. Obviously, same if you're using a normal oven, 180. And that was 12 minutes in the Ninja Foodie. It will take maybe 15 in the standard oven. So, I would let these cool, but let's see if the jam part has worked. So the first good sign, and one thing I was worried about, I've tried this recipe method before with like a frozen thing in the middle, and it just kind of got blown out the top, which wasn't very useful when I was trying to make a jam-filled cake. So I'm going to hope it's baked properly all the way through. If it hasn't, we'll all pretend that it has, and we can ignore the fact that I failed, but let's hope I haven't. I do like to let these cool in the moulds first, but we don't want to just be stood here doing nothing. There we go. It's kind of split. I was a bit rushed there, but let's get a knife. Just use that to cut carrots. Can you see that? A little jam filling. There we go. So I think recipe notes, I would add a little bit more mix underneath the jam, because obviously it has sunk a little bit, or just make the jam parts a little bit smaller. They were quite large ice cubes. However, you've got a really nice pop of colour in the middle there. I'm going to let the others cool down first, because I think that'll help it hold its structure a bit. Obviously, it's really hot still, and the jam is like liquid at the moment. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with them. They're very summery, very fruity. I bet that would be nice if you had a little bit of lemon juice to the cake as well. Make it a very citrusy cake. Let's try a little bit. Yeah, that's really nice. A really simple cake recipe as well. Yep, a big dollop of cream on top. Yes, you could dress these up as well if you wanted to. Whip up some double cream, or maybe the cream cheese, the lemon cream cheese topping that's on the carrot cake recipe. That would work really nicely as well. Something very fruity and citrusy. And yeah, look at that colour. I'll cool these down, and I'll take a photo of these once they're properly cool, and we'll get a nice photo of them, because that one's a little bit squashed because it's so hot. But yeah, really happy with them. Wow. Okay, thank you very much for watching. The new live timetable will be on the website later today. Just need to update the page. It's there. So I think the next time we're live, there's a couch time on Wednesday. Victoria and Alison from Everbold are coming to chat with the team. I'll be live next Thursday, I think, making burger parcels, which is like homemade burgers wrapped up in one of the panda wraps and baked, so it's like really crispy. Friday, Dad's doing flavoured breads. And Sunday, Sue and Tracy are live making angel mousse trifles, so another sort of fruity, but more of like a centerpiece dessert rather than these, which are kind of like individual desserts. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice evening. See you later.